Hey dolls, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. But we're going to start off with a series of videos that are going to get to show you who I am, the person that I am, and the reason why I am the person that I am today. And the goal with that is to inspire you all. If it touches one of you, because I don't know, maybe you're going through the same thing or not, but if it inspires you to become a better person, that's all to me that it matters. Because to me, there's a lot more than the beautiful hair that I create. And I'm so nervous to share all these things with you because they are personal. They're things that nobody knows really. But as scary as it is, for me, it's important for you to know. So let's get started, and it's gonna be so much fun and scary. But let's do it. Once again, welcome, and I'm Francisco Pinto. And as all of you know, I'm a hairstylist. I have worked with a lot of great influencers in the industry, celebrities, and I'm known for the big hair, you know, the beautiful, full, voluminous, bouncy waves, big hair, you know. But let's go back. Let's go way back to where it all started, and that's in Oaxaca, Mexico. That's where I was born, that's where I'm from, and my life wasn't always as glamorous as all of you probably think it is, because it's not that glamorous. But it wasn't glamorous at all. You know, I was born in Oaxaca, Mexico, and as all of you know, and you probably heard of Oaxaca, Mexico, it's a beautiful city, and it's very poor. You know, it's extremely poor. My family's poor. We come from nothing. We literally didn't have running water or toilets or things that today I see as a privilege, as a luxury, because I didn't have it when I was a kid. My grandpa used to make my toys, you know, my little toy cars. It was a block of wood, and he would nail on each side top from a soda can, you know, the glass bottles, you know, the little metal lids. He would nail those to the little block of wood, and that was my toy cars. We would play with mud. You know, in Mexico, we played a lot with mud as a kid, and we put mud on leaves from trees, and you know, that was our food and that was our tortillas, because that's what we had available to play with, you know. But it was fun. It was so much fun, and I'm so grateful for growing up in that environment, not having nothing, you know. To me, honestly, it's the reason why I'm so grateful today for what I have. I value and appreciate the small things in life that are taken for granted, that we don't see as how important they are and how privileged we are to have them, because there's people in this world that don't have them. I didn't have them. I share a lot of time with my grandfather and my grandma because my parents moved, and the reason why my father came to America was for the reason that I was getting sick a lot as a child, and what he was making at that time wasn't able to support our family and the medical bills, because the medical bills got out of control. And the only way that he thought he was going to continue to pay those medical bills was to come to the US. Of course, as every immigrant, for a better life, a better future for himself and his family. A year after my mom came, so I was left in Mexico with my grandparents, who I spent a lot of time with. But one thing that I still remember, because of course as a kid you don't have a lot of memories, but one of those memories was our Christmas tree. And as you know, today I am all about Christmas, and every year you see my amazing glamorous Christmas tree, and it's for this reason. Because as a kid, I didn't have a Christmas tree. My Christmas tree was a old dried up tree, you know, that my grandfather found out in the mountain. And we would stick it in a bucket of mud, and we would paint candy on it. You know, any type of candy that they were able to get their hands on, we would tie a string to it and hang it on that dry tree. That was my Christmas tree. But I told myself that one day I was going to grow up and I was going to have an actual Christmas tree, because to me Christmas was special. Christmas to me means the world, means a lot. You know, I don't care about any other holiday besides Christmas. It was special to my grandparents. They made it special. So it was a special time in my childhood that I love to remember, and I want to always remember, you know. And it's the reason why I love Christmas. I don't care if there's no gifts under the Christmas tree, you know, because that's not what Christmas is about. Christmas is about being with the ones you love and just celebrating it. And I don't care about anything else besides my Christmas tree. And I will go all out, and my Christmas tree will be beautiful, and you will see it sometime, you know. Go to my Instagram and scroll down, you will see my Christmas trees. I came to the US at the age of 5. When I came to the US, we stayed with the family in TJ, where it was the first time that I ever had cereal, and it was Trix. I remember, oh my god, I love that, like that cereal, Coming from not having that specific food and then having it, it was like amazing. It was delicious. I couldn't have enough of it, and it was just cereal. But I guess you can say we crossed over the border or jumped over the border, but we didn't jump, of course not. We drove through the border, and I remember driving on the freeway on the 805 from TJ to Encinitas, where we stayed and lived for a few years. I remember looking at everything was so different to what I was used to. I was driving on roads where there was actually concrete, cement, and it was clean and it was nice to drive. I remember seeing a lot of green. We arrived in Encinitas, and we didn't arrive to an apartment. We didn't arrive to a house or anything close to that. We actually lived in a shed that my father rented in the back. The sheds that you buy at the Home Depot, and it's used to store tools or your gardening supplies or anything in that nature. That's where we lived in, my father, my mother, and I. At night, or especially when it rained, it was so loud because, as you know, it's metal, and when something falls on it and walks on it, it's really loud. And it was really freaking cold. During winter, it was freezing. But that's where we lived, and we lived there for an entire year. We were only allowed inside the house whenever my mother cooked or whenever we needed to shower or use the restroom. Besides that, we were in the back. But I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. Where I came from, it was pretty much the same thing, so it wasn't something that I was used to it. I started first grade, and of course I didn't know the native language of the US, which is English. I only spoke Spanish, so for me it was very difficult to make friends or just be involved in the activities. I pushed myself aside, because I couldn't talk, I couldn't relate, I couldn't communicate. But someone that I really remember, and it's very special to me and dear to my heart, and who I will for always be grateful for, is our principal, my principal at that time, Mrs. Witt. And this lady, she was very glamorous. I can tell from the way she was that in her early years she was a sexy diva. She would dress so sophisticated, she always had a suit with a skirt, heels. Her makeup was always done. Like, she had red lips. She would always wear red lips. Her hair was done. She talked to my parents and told them that she wanted me to stay after school and tutor me because she wanted to make sure that I learned the native language. And I did. But she was very strict, like extremely strict, to that if I didn't understand something or I wasn't getting it, like the way she wanted me to get it and understand it quick, she would pinch my ear so hard or pull me from my sideburns as a, I don't want to say punishment, because it wasn't a punishment, so that I can, I don't know, like it was pretty much, you're going to get it because you're going to get it, and there's no excuse. You're not dumb. I know you're not dumb, and you're going to get it. And I remember her telling to my parents this very specific, so like, you come to this country, and you come to this country to succeed, and you're going to do something. You're not going to be here like everybody else and not do anything. You come here to better your life, and that's what I want for you, and that's what you're going to do. I remember that very clearly and specific. And the first time I ever had a new pair of shoes was thanks to her, because we were doing it was a concert after school that everybody came, everyone's parents, and we did a little concert thing. But all the kids had to, I don't remember specifically how we had to dress, but we all had to wear dress shoes, and I didn't have dress shoes. The shoes that I had were tearing apart. My toes were literally almost coming out of the front of my shoe because that's how old they were. But that day of the event, she gave me a box of a new pair of shoes for me to wear because she wanted me to look good, and match all the rest of the kids. And that was the very first time I ever had, and my feet were introduced to new shoes. She did a lot for my family and I, because there's more things that she helped my family, but that's how she helped me. And she was a nice lady, she was very nice, and someone who I'm grateful for all those every time she pinched me, but because I got it. We lived in Oceanside, Encinitas and Oceanside. Then we moved to LA, where we're currently living in the same city, which is Hacienda Heights. I don't remember what age, but I know it was when I started 5th grade. You know, I started 5th grade here in the LA County, and I was pretty much a loser, a loner. I didn't have much friends. I was always bullied and made fun of. I used to hate lunch because it was a time where I guess it really reminded me of how much of a loser I was, and how much of a loser and loner I was, because I had no one to sit and eat lunch. You know, lunch for me was a time that I was scared because I was gonna be pushed around, made fun of, laughed at. It wasn't a time of, oh, I'm gonna go and hang out with my friends and have fun and socialize. No, to me it was torture. It meant torture. So a lot of times what I would do is I would get my lunch, either throw it away, and I would just drink the milk really fast and walk around and wander around the school trying to hide from the bullies. Or if I was really hungry, I would get in and go to the bathroom stall and eat my lunch. And I will stay there, you know, very quiet so that nobody would hear that I'm there. I did my best to hide as much as possible. That was the only way that I felt safe, that I didn't feel threatened. Or I would on purpose get lunch detention so that I can stay in the classroom and be safe with the teacher, you know, because nobody's gonna hurt me there or bully or tell me anything there. So I would get detention a lot. But those things, you know, being bullied, being pushed around, being laughed at, did hurt. You know, it hurt, like it sucked. It really did suck. You know, I used to hate going to school. You know, it's not a good feeling. But it came to a point that I was fed up, and that happened during high school. You know, I was so fed up with everything, you know, that I said, you know what, F everybody. Like, I'm gonna be who I am and say what I want and do whatever I want, whether it makes you happy or not. You know, and honestly, that's when I finally started having friends. You know, that to me, I thought I was doing something bad and I was rebelling, or, you know, but no, it actually turned out to be something good. You know, I started making friends, you know, not with the guys, of course, or the jocks, you know, they still bullied me, but I was best friends with their girlfriends, you know, and their girlfriends protected me and defended me every time their boyfriends wanted to bully me around, you know. So when I was with them, it's like, you can't bully me or you can't say anything to me. You have to put up with me. You have to sit at the same lunch table as me because your girlfriend is okay with it, and I'm, you know. So to me, it was cool, you know. They had no other choice but to deal with it. Hello, what happened? Oh, they said you need to subscribe to my channel, okay? They still bullied me, of course, when they weren't there, but I always promised myself, you know, I always told myself that I was gonna come back to my 10-year reunion and I was going to show them what I was all about. You know, that little kid that they bullied, or that loner or loser who they bullied and put down all the time, became something and did something with his life. Not like them, who, in my mind, you know, and I'm not saying that this is what they became, you know, but in my mind, they were just gonna grow up to be fat and not do shit, you know. But by the time we went back to our 10-year reunion, you know, I'm like, now things were gonna flip around, because people like that aren't nice, nothing good comes their way. Nothing good ever happens to them, you know. And the ones who were bullied and made fun of, that was blossom, you know. And that's what I always told myself, that's what's going to be my story. And I was going to go back to that 10-year reunion, and they weren't going to be able to make fun of me. They weren't going to be able to look down on me. You know, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you now who is better, you know. And I'm going to do that by my accomplishments, but what I have done in those 10 years. And I'm going to show you that I have done something and I have created something, unlike you who doesn't have shit. You know, and it's wrong to think like that. And I see that now. But at that time, that was my mentality. That was my motivation. That's the reason why I made sure that I was going to be successful, that I was going to work my ass off to have something by that time. And it sucked. And I was so disappointed, because by the time my 10-year reunion came, you know, I was so excited for 10 years, looked forward to it, to go back to it. But I'm not going to tell you what happened. I'm going to make you wait 10 years like I waited. I'm just kidding, I'm not going to make you wait 10 years, but I'm going to make you wait maybe in the next episode, I don't know. But this is all for now. But I want to know, were you bullied in high school, and how was your experience? I want to know how you managed it, you know? Or are you that bully who ended up with a beer belly, you know? I just want to know. I want to know how this relates to you, and I want to hear all these stories, and comment below, you know, because I will reply and I will look at them. I know it's been a short one, but like, you know, like every show, the first episode is kind of boring. I don't know if it was boring or not, or if it inspired you. I hope it did. So you better subscribe. But I'll see you soon. Subscribe! Ooh, subscribe! Hey, you need to subscribe now. Like, now. Okay, I'll let them know. They said you need to subscribe to my channel like right now. So grab your phone and subscribe.